West Shore home Friday night rivals presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling returns to the capital city. It's a key NAC 6 battle. 6-1 Millbrook taking on 2-5 Wakefield. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Raleigh. Patrick Keenis alongside former ECU standout Jay Sonhalter. Jay, big one tonight. You have Millbrook one loss back in the loss column for the conference lead, and meanwhile Wakefield looking for that elusive first win, but they're two losses against the only two unbeatens in the NAC 6.
Well, we talked last week about the NAC being the best league in the state, and it's the depth of the league that makes it so special. Millbrook, Wakefield, this is going to be an important game as far as the conference race goes, but Wakefield's got a young team that's getting better every week, and then Millbrook, coming off of last week's game against Roosevelt, they're looking to respond in a big way. They've got big-time recruits all over the field.
A couple of key players we'll look at, both seniors.
Wakefield has an outstanding quarterback in Dominic Haney, one of the best in the state. He's a dual-threat quarterback that can get outside the pocket, very physical runner, elite speed, and then one of the strongest arms you'll see. Over on the defensive side for Millbrook, Ian Rembert has been a tackling machine. 11 tackles per game, 77 on the year. He's the leader. He's the quarterback, playing inside linebacker for the Wildcats. He gets everybody set, and he's so aggressive on that side of the ball.
Each of these teams trying to get back on track after a tough last week. Jay, what are the keys?
Well, for Wakefield, the biggest focus areas are the special teams, the third phase of the game, and then they're focusing on being disciplined and not beating themselves over. For Millbrook, no turnovers and no big plays. They feel like if they can protect the football and they play well in the back end, they're going to give themselves a great shot tonight.
Second week in a row, perfect, immaculate weather here in Raleigh. Third member of our broadcast crew, Sam Hyman, with more on the backstory with Wakefield and Millbrook. Sam?
Thanks so much, Patrick. Well, we have had a chance to witness a lot of talent at the wide receiver position in this conference in recent years, and one of those guys we'll get a chance to watch firsthand tonight. That's Nathan Leacock of Millbrook. This guy is an absolute stud, and he has some good company over the last couple of years. Look at these guys. Leacock, one of the best. Had a chance to catch up with one of his teammates, David Santiago, who said, watch this young man absolutely fly. He's committed to Tennessee, so it's kind of a big deal. He's going to be tested, though, today against cornerback Brennan Davis, who said he is ready. It might be one of the toughest matchups for Davis on the Wakefield side. When we come back, kickoff, West Shore home, Friday night rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling. Wakefield and Millbrook, straight ahead.
Back at Millbrook High School, the coin toss tonight, sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. Contact your local recruiter today. Sergeant Anthony Blakely of the U.S. Marines recruiter and U.S. Marine Corps with the flip tonight. And Millbrook will get the football to open things up as these teams meet, Jay, in front of a sold-out crowd. They played an overtime thriller last year, claimed by Millbrook on their way to a third-round loss to Roosevelt in the state playoffs last year. They feel like they have the talent and the leadership to go further.
And some outstanding seniors. Nathan Leacock, number 15, one of the best. And this is an important ball game for conference standings. And this is a rivalry game, so a lot on the line tonight.
Wakefield checks in 2-5, 0-2 in the NAC 6. Well, they've taken on the two unbeaten teams in the league at this stage, losing to Roosevelt and then getting pounded last week by Wake Forest 48-10. Millbrook 1-1 in conference play, suffered 35-6 defeat to Roosevelt last week after opening up conference play with a win over Heritage. Time for the opening kickoff, brought to you by the American Military University. AMU, the #1 provider of higher education to the U.S. military. Millbrook in the home blues. And the kick will be returned by the 10-yard line, sprint through the middle. Lot of room, down the sideline, and there goes D.K. Bryant inside the 30. Bryant on the opening kickoff takes it 85 yards. And the sellout crowd to their feet, 14 seconds into the game.
What a way to start for Millbrook. Bryant is going to get it. Look like he's going up the middle. Great job up front, getting a hat on a hat. And then this is just track speed by Bryant. taking over. No one's going to catch him once he gets out into the open field. Special teams will be so important tonight. Millbrook wins in that phase to begin the ball game.
Not a bad start, right? Crabtree Mall touchdown brought to you by Crabtree Mall, your go-to destination for fashion food for 50 years. Shop, dine, and explore their 200-plus stores and restaurants in the heart of Raleigh. So this game opens with a bang. Flag down on the extra point. And our referee tonight, Travis Keith, probably sucking wind already after we just saw DK Bryant explode to begin this contest with a kickoff return for a touchdown. And there's a look at one of the coaches here for Millbrook. That's Hunter Jenks. And Jenks has been with the program for a few years. Jimmy Vereen is the interim head coach in his second year with the program, first year here with the Millbrook Wildcats. And after the penalty now goes against Wakefield. You see Millbrook go for two, a keeper, a little stumble. And headed to the goal line and in. There's the two-point conversion there. Looked like it was David Santiago on the keeper, and it's an 8-0 lead for Millbrook, 14 seconds into the contest.
Well, Santiago, we'll see him lined up. His defensive end, tight end. There's the Wildcat quarterback. He's going to Charlotte next year. Early on, he uses his strength to get in for the two-point conversion. And perfect start for Millbrook to begin the game.
Well, we talked with Jimmy Vereen, the interim head coach for the Millbrook Wildcats, before the game, and he said, we did get pounded last week, 35-6 to Rollsville, but his sense was it would be a different game had they gone in and scored first to take a little bit of pressure off the Wildcats. Well, did they ever get the message and turn things around? The script was flipped here in the first 14 seconds tonight.
Well, they just felt like there's a lot of things they wanted to address from that ball game, and James Ward, the outstanding head coach for Wakefield as well. So both these teams know each other well. They know their personnel. And Millbrook struck first.
There's James Ward in his fourth year on the sidelines for Wakefield. Fans are still coming through the turnstiles trying to grab their seats, and they see Millbrook up by 8. And now an end-over-end short kick grabbed by one of the upbacks, muffed, picked back up. And Wakefield is going to start this drive back at his 26. Tommy Al MacArthur just simply, after he lost the handle of it, just dropped down on it, not wanting to set Wakefield any further back than they already are here in the first 17 seconds.
You know, for Wakefield's offense, they need to get a drive going here. The special teams unit gave up a play, but this is a offense led by an outstanding quarterback, really good offensive line, and they feel like tonight they need to win up front and give Haney opportunities through the air and on the ground.
There is Haney. Last year he threw for over 1,800 and rushed for over 1,000. He is that true dual threat quarterback, and the ball in his hands on first down. A handoff strung up and read like a novel by Millbrook. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the offense for Wakefield as they come on the field, brought to you by Air Experts Heating and Cooling.
And for Wakefield, you got really good skill players, talented offensive linemen. 3 are going to play both ways, and this is a young group that's gotten better each and every week.
Loss of 4 on that first down play for Wakefield. 2-5, 0-2 in conference play, but Dominic Haney, senior quarterback, one of the strongest and most accurate arms in this league. And he's back. This will be his first pass opportunity of the night. Flushed out, in trouble, being chased and dragged down back inside the 10-yard line. Millbrook, 2 big plays in the backfield. That's Jaden Ferguson, the junior outside linebacker.
You know, Ferguson is so athletic. He just kept fighting up front. Initially, the offensive line blocked it up. The Wildcats were relentless, and Ferguson found a way with his technique to get in the backfield.
Let's take a look at the Millbrook defense again, brought to you by Air Experts Heating and Cooling.
And this is a big front 7 for Millbrook. They know how to get after the quarterback in a tall and athletic secondary.
Couple of negative plays. This is 3rd down and 27, and now a flag comes in, and our referee is counting the number of players on the field. It's going to be an illegal substitution against Wakefield. They had 12 out of the huddle. One was sprinting toward the sideline and did not escape in time. Travis Keith, our referee, counts 12, and this drive continues to go in reverse. Line of reach is the 36-yard line. This game could not have started any worse for James Ward's Wolverines.
And the key here for Wakefield is protect the football especially backed up. You know Millbrook is going to bring some pressure.
And so here's Haney into his end zone. He'll tuck it in, cut to the outside, get a block. He's across the 15 to about the 22-yard line. Still well short of the first down, but very positive and needed yards right there for Haney and the Wolverines to at least create some space to punt the football.
But a good job by Haney, just using his legs, getting what he could, and helping out the special teams unit. Over from Millbrook, they only rushed 3. So they're showing pressure, drop back, the safeties way back, willing to give up some yards to get the ball back on special teams.
So an 8-0 lead for Millbrook. They're about to get the football back. And DK Bryant, who just returned that kickoff for a touchdown at 80-plus yards, he is back to return this punt at midfield. Carter Mark on to punt it away for Wakefield. Officially, it's 4th down and 13. And now Leacock joins Bryant, twin safeties. And the punt under a little bit of pressure, flips end over end, and checks up. Takes a lateral roll, will be down around the 46-yard line. Excellent field position for Millbrook. Well, they have written a perfect first chapter of this one. DK Bryant from 86 on the opening kickoff. 8-point lead for Millbrook and possession on the other side of the 50 when we return. Quick start to this one tonight for the Millbrook Wildcats, and here's our first look finally at their starting quarterback in junior Mason Fortune. Led Millbrook to an 11-2 mark last year as a sophomore quarterback. Threw for over 3,000 yards and 40 touchdown passes, 5 picks, and he is right now trending toward even larger, more obscene offensive numbers this year. Swings out to Bryant, makes one man miss, now turns upfield, and Bryant finally thrown down as the penalty marker does come in. A lot of action for a gain of 3 right there, and we'll see where this penalty is going to be assigned. We take a look at the Air Experts heating and cooling starting lineups for the offense for the Wildcats.
A really good running game for Millbrook as we get the penalty.
And that's going to be a big one against Millbrook.
A really good running game with Xavier Pugh, and that sets up the play action pass and the passing lanes for the wide receivers and for Fortune up front. A talented group as well, big offensive line, and the goal tonight is win in the trenches and let your skill guys go to work.
Yeah, this is a really seasoned team for the Millbrook Wildcats. Again, they got knocked out in the 3rd round by Rollsville last year. Rollsville was off to a 2-0 conference start. Millbrook beaten by Rollsville last week 35-6. But a quick start here tonight. So with the penalty first of the night on Millbrook, they back them up to the 41-yard line. Still technically first down for Fortune and the Wildcats. And Fortune swings out of the backfield. Catch is made in some space. Xavier Pugh down the right sideline, being harassed and then thrown out of bounds around the 33-yard line. Now we'll take a look at the defense for Wakefield, brought to you by Air Experts Heating and Cooling.
A really good defensive line. 3 offensive linemen playing both ways with Greenlee Stewart and February, Jugan. And then in the back end, this is a tall, athletic group, a lot of young talent in the back 7 for Wakefield.
NCDPS first down. Go to ncdps.gov/careers and start your new career. Fortune throwing. Yeah, that's off target. A lot of, though, weapons on the outside for this Millbrook Wildcat team. Ty Broughton, Hayden McShay out of the backfield. And we talked about Leacock in the open. 15 touchdowns already through the air. 40 catches, 1,023 yards he had last season. He's back for more.
When it's so tough to double team a guy because they have so many guys out wide that can hurt you, plus the running game and a quarterback, unfortunately, that protects the football. Only 3 interceptions compared to 22 touchdowns.
He's over 2,000 yards already. Season's barely halfway through. 2nd and 10. And Fortune, straight drop, sets up the screen and misfires there. Some miscommunication out of the backfield, sets up 3rd down. Let's go downstairs to Sam.
Yeah, Patrick, you guys were talking about the starters on defense for Wakefield, and one guy who is back is star corner Brennan Davis. He's got a broken thumb, so he is playing with a broken thumb. He's got a cast on his right hand, and he is tested tonight going up against Nathan Leacock, but he told me he is confident about what he's going to provide this evening.
Yeah, broke that thumb making a tackle about a month ago, missed 3 games, just came back a couple of weeks ago. And there he is with that pink cast on that right hand, protecting the right thumb. 3rd down and 10 for Millbrook. Loading up the box, so the Wolverines. Fortune sprints the pocket to the near side, throws on the run, has a man if it's on target. It is juggled and dropped out of bounds. The receiver had a step, incomplete, looking for Santiago. The pass forced him to kind of twist to the opposite shoulder toward the sideline, couldn't bring it in.
And Patrick Healy breaks this up. Good job hustling by the defensive back. The ball just hits the hands and he knocks it loose.
Pass a bit underthrown, but got him in the 10 fingers. That's a ball that needs to be caught. 4th down for Millbrook with an 8-0 lead.
The offense staying out on the field.
4 receiver formation for the Wildcats. Santiago second from the bottom. And Mason Fortune trying to convert on 4th down. He will heave it toward the far right pylon in the air. It is cradled in, and it is caught, but it's out of bounds. Out of bounds. Looking for Leacock, and a terrific adjustment on that pass. Couldn't get the foot down.
It was good coverage from Wakefield. And Fortune gets loft on the ball, just one-on-one. Leacock is able to focus all the way in as his feet. That left foot is out of bounds. Great call from the official. Still good-looking play. Strong arm quarterback taking a shot. 4th and 10, you go all the way. Leacock, such good hand-eye coordination. Just a little bit too far to the right. But Wakefield's going to get the ball back.
All right, so Wakefield gets the defensive stop that it needed. Now back in the hands of Dominic Haney. Throws to the right sideline. Catch made by Zamir Davis. And he's out of bounds with the first down of the night for Wakefield out to the 45-yard line.
A really good route by Davis. It's a deep out, and Haney, you see the arm strength. He had time in the pocket. Threw to the wide side of the field. And up front, plenty of time, good protection. Throws a rope.
An NCDPS first down for Wakefield. Go to ncdps.gov/careers to start your new career. From the Wolverines 46. And now a handoff strung out left side. This is Dante James. And James with a penalty marker late tossed in. Takes it over the 50-yard line. But this one is going to be brought back. Second penalty on Wakefield. That is Travis Keith, our referee. 25th year for him as a referee. Officiated 2 state title games. And a former member of the Raleigh Police Department, retired a few years ago, so he got into officiating out of boredom. Our thoughts with him and his former colleagues at the RPD after that awful tragedy just about 5 miles away in Headingham here in Raleigh. Our thoughts are with the Raleigh Police Department, with the victims and all their families for another senseless moment of gun violence. Penalty pushes him back to the 41-yard line. Still first down for the Wolverines. Haney, keeper, follows his tailback, and he's stood up right around the 44. He'll pick up about 3 and set up second and long.
And Haney has such good vision. When he has those quarterback designed runs, the whole defense knows number one's probably going to keep this ball. Watch them as they swarm over, but Haney, with his vision, makes a nice cut back and picks up positive yardage on first down.
Well, there's a lot of experience on this Millbrook defense. 9 seniors are starting of the 11 tonight. Although the grandson of the interim head coach, Jimmy Vereen, Tyler Vereen, nicked up by injury, not expected to play a lot, if at all, tonight. Long pass across toward the sideline. The ball knocked out of the hands. Incomplete. Well played by D.K. Bryant, jarring that one loose from Zamir Davis.
And it's so important as a defensive back. If you don't get there in time, go for the ball. Try to knock it loose. That's exactly what Bryant did. Another throw from Haney, right on the money, strong arm, he gets it over there. And then Bryant was able to jar it out.
Well, we've already seen the portfolio of skills on display from DK Bryant in the first 5 minutes of this one. 3rd down, 13 for the Wolverines, trailing by 8. A glance at the sideline by Haney for the play call. And the Wildcats looks like they're bringing a lot. Quick toss left side. This is Davis, and nowhere close to the first down. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. And we'll bring up 4th down now for Wakefield.
And the team speed for Millbrook shows on those side screen plays. They all just flow over to the football. It's so tough to take the shots down the field because of the pass rush. So Wakefield, they'll have to protect up front and make sure they give Haney time to throw the ball. But this is a group up front for Wakefield. A lot of veterans that, again, play both ways. They're an important piece tonight's game plan.
Bryant and Pugh are back to return. Second punt of the night by Merck. And this one is coming Pugh's way. He'll grab around the 25, move to the middle, fake a man out, slip forward, and a hard-nosed return out beyond the 40-yard line. Well done by Pugh. Very good field position again for the Millbrook Wildcats. With an 8-0 lead, a little more than 5.5 minutes gone by in the opening quarters. These two rivals from Wake County meet up again for Friday Night Rivals. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, Sam Hyman down on the sidelines. West Shore Home Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling. 8-0 lead for Millbrook. In the deep blue pants, Carolina blue tops. At home in front of a huge crowd in this Friday night. Shoulder fake, darting to the right is Fortune. Markers down as Fortune takes it to the sideline and is bumped out of bounds around the 48. This penalty is in the vicinity of offensive holding. Second penalty against the Wildcats.
Fortune initially looks over towards the left, sees the coverage, and there's the hold right in the middle of the screen. Good call by the official. But this is a part of Fortune's game. You see his big passing statistics, but he's got good feet, quickness, the awareness when to get out of the pocket.
That is a big penalty back to the 35-yard line. So 1st and 23 now for the Wildcats. Fortune, 2-step drop, finds Leacock around the 40-yard line, muscles his way past a man, and then spins like a hurricane out to midfield. So Nathan Leacock brings it in and picks up the penalty yardage +1. 2nd and 9.
Good job by Fortune, reading the coverage, Leacock wide open, and then using the stiff arm. He's a big kid, strong, with the outstanding track speed. The yards after the catch have been so impressive for Leacock this season.
Well, there's Brennan Davis with that broken thumb and all the cast on that right wrist. That's Leacock's almost impossible to bring down one-on-one when he have two perfectly healthy hands. Not the case for Davis tonight, but he's up to the task. 2nd and 9. Let's go downstairs to Sam.
Yeah, guys, had a chance to chat with Coach Jenks of Millbrook before this game. He said that Nathan Leacock reminds him of an elite-level DK Metcalf. This guy has a ton of strength, works tirelessly during the offseason. DK Metcalf, pretty impressive.
That's an apt comparison. And here's a bursting run by Pugh. Down the sideline, stays in bounds, inside the 10, and then shoved out short of the pylon. Another explosive play. However, another marker is down. And this one may be coming back as well. And it's another hold against Millbrook. Oh, boy. Negating a near touchdown carry by Xavier Pugh.
And as Pugh gets to the outside, it was a counter. Looking like it was going towards the right, goes back to the left. Can't see the hold in the screen. Not sure where it was, but still, you see the speed from Pugh. There's Hunter Jenks, outstanding coach, calling the plays tonight from Millbrook.
couple of substantial penalties against Millbrook. Instead of 1st and goal from around the 2-yard line with the hold, this is now 2nd down and about 16 from back outside the 50. So fortunate the Wildcats can't get out of their own way on this drive. Fortune throws as he takes a hit, finds Leacock on the outside, steps out of a tackle, still on his feet, splits 2 defenders, and there he goes! How did he get away? No flags this time. 48-yard touchdown reception by Nathan Leacock.
Now this play shows you all of the talent of Leacock. First off, the focus. Defender comes in his face, then the hands, and then make a man miss, finish with power, and then the elite speed. Picks those knees up, high knees his way into the end zone. He's going to Tennessee next year. They're doing pretty well this season. Big game against Alabama tomorrow, and he's going to have an opportunity, I believe, to make an immediate impact for the Volunteers.
And the extra point is no good. So with 4:53 left in the first half, the first quarter, 14-0, and that touchdown reception was all Leacock. Quick pass to the outside, and then he made 1, 2, and a couple more miss before he was off to the races. Slipped through 5 different defenders on his way in.
Well, his talent, you hear about his speed, but he's an outstanding football player. You got to make guys miss. You have to know, hey, when I catch the ball, where's my defenders? How am I going to get around them? You saw the power, the speed, the quickness. You saw it all from 15.
That's the 23rd touchdown pass from Mason Fortune this year. 16 of the 23 have gone through Leacock.
He faced interior pressure. As he threw the ball, he was getting hit, so he showed toughness in the pocket.
Look at Dominic Haney now for the Wakefield Wolverines. Got beat by Rolesville 2 weeks ago, 47-42. They can put up offense. Only 10 points in a 48-10 loss last week to Wake Forest. American Military University kickoff. AMU, the #1 provider of higher education to the U.S. military. Short end over end, returnable from the 23-yard line. And not much on this return, maybe 5, and a little extracurriculars out of bounds. I don't see any markers coming in as Matthew Stanisek, one of the up men, grabbed it, and it was thrown down into the Millbrook sideline. Well, slow start hurt the Wolverines last week. As a matter of fact, the offense that they really thought they had built when this year began, negated by the graduation of 19 seniors last year, didn't have a great deal of experience on the defensive side, on the offensive line. They have one of the best quarterbacks in this conference, but you need a lot of the other complementing pieces. And that one is juggled, re-caught, and that will go nowhere, though. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That ball is through the hands, then re-caught by Carter Merck for Wakefield.
When Haney gets rid of the ball quickly, then Millbrook again flows over to the football, just swarming. We talked previously, Patrick, about the veteran group. They have so many returners, and it shows with their alignment, their discipline on the defensive side.
We were talking with James Ward before the game about how he's been able to just kind of jigsaw puzzle this team together. 3 guys, 3 of his offensive linemen also play on the defensive line. They don't have a great deal of depth there either. And now, second pass goes down the sideline. Boy, they had the trick play. Davis was wide open. If that pass from Mert gets there, it's a 3rd down.
This was an outstanding play call by James Ward. Recognizing Millbrook's secondary is aggressive, their eyes in the backfield. Do the trick play, the ball just sails a little bit, but that would have been a touchdown if they could have converted.
I mean, all that has to be is within 4 yards of where Davis was setting up. That pass was nowhere close. And you can only catch them by surprise once in a play like that. 3rd and 11. Davis split out to the bottom of the screen.
Millbrook showing blitz.
And here they come, rushing 5, in trouble, and down goes Haney. Sacked back outside the 20-yard line. There's David Santiago, one of the best all-around athletes on this Millbrook team.
Great player, great kid. Uses a swim move to get off the edge. and then finishes it off. He's headed to Charlotte. He's playing both ways tonight on the offensive and defensive side.
Now let's go downstairs to Sam with more on Santiago.
Yeah, guys, David Santiago, pretty funny conversation with him earlier this week. You see him with a shoulder pad, you see him with a jersey. Well, underneath both of those, every single game he wears a Superman compression shirt. He says it gives him confidence.
Punt blocked, covered up by Wakefield around the 23-yard line. But the pressure got in there. Santiago's in the backfield and doing it all. So special teams have come up enormously big for the Wildcats in this opening quarter. Kickoff return for a touchdown. And now this block taken right off the foot to Merck. And then Santiago just getting that Superman arms up.
Well, you love to see your stars playing on special teams, and not only playing, but making impacts. Back-to-back plays with a sack, then the block play, and sets up the offense with outstanding field position.
When you're on the road down 14, first quarter isn't even over. And now after a block punt, your defense is backed up around the 20-yard line. This is a critical series for the Wakefield defense. Fortune spins away, a little reverse pivot. Now he'll toss toward the goal line on a cross, and the receiver caught off the route. A couple of receivers were in the vicinity. That was Henry Hutchins, number 81. Looked like the ball was going to that next level for him, but he alligator armed it.
There's some misdirection, and Fortune athletic throwing across his body. A good throw. Wakefield's defenders were coming to make the play. But again, I like the play designed by Hunter Jinks, using that play action, the great running game they have to bring the linebackers up to open up the secondary.
3:10 left first quarter. So Hutchins now deployed to the top of your screen. Three receivers to the left, and that includes Leacock. He steps back, and he's going to be the recipient here. He'll spin, move forward. Can he split through defenders again? Of course he can. Lost the football, but it goes out of bounds. And the beanbag tossed down around the 1-yard line. So Leacock, I think he was more focused on kind of eluding the pressure and getting through instead of protecting the football. Reaching in right there as Brendan Davis with that left hand knocked it loose.
Yeah, good job by Davis, and Hayden McShay, number 3, the wide receiver from Millbrook, had the key block to open up the lane.
So now inside the CFNC red zone. College Foundation of North Carolina helping plan, apply, and pay for college. First and goal for Millbrook. All spotted at the 2. High snap. Santiago hands off through the left side, almost untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Millbrook. John Alarcon Gomez takes it in from 3 yards out, and it's a 20-point opening quarter for Millbrook.
The offensive line up front gets pushed. Good job at the point of attack, getting a path, and then Millbrook just continuing their running game to go north and south, get downhill. Another play with misdirection from Hunter Jinks. Good job keeping the defense off balance.
And penalty markers drop prior to the extra point try by Angel Gomez. Pushing back 5 yards. Well, not the start that James Ward and the Wolverines envisioned, Jay. How do they recover here?
I think they have to settle in and say, hey, listen, this first quarter to this point hasn't gone our way. All we can do is focus on moving forward and play like this game 0-0, and then they've got to create a spark. Somebody has to step up and have a big play and kind of get the juice back to the Wakefield sideline.
Well, that's going to be a penalty on offsides. It looked like Brendan Davis off that right edge got about a 3-yard head start into the backfield trying to block the PAT. So they will move that football to where it was before this whole mess began. 20-0 Millbrook. Seen a little of everything so far. The defense has been in the backfield pretty regularly tonight for Millbrook. Punt block, kickoff return for a touchdown. Some accuracy from Mason Fortune and finding his guide, Nathan Leacock, a couple of times. Little knuckler comes up short. Second straight miss on the PAT by Angel Gomez Corona. Remains 20-0 Millbrook with 2:57 left in this opening quarter. That's about the only thing that has not gone the way of the Wildcats so far. Might have been tipped.
A surge from Wakefield. Good effort. That ball is knocked. Oh, good job sticking his paw up.
February, number 70, right up the middle, got a hand on it.
For Millbrook last week against Rollsville, a ball game where they felt like there was a lot of opportunities they had to address this week in practice. Areas that they didn't feel like they necessarily played their best, especially at the start of the ball game. A couple long drives they weren't able to convert. And they really looked at practice this week as an opportunity to fix those mistakes, come out here, and from the start be very aggressive.
There's the coaching never stops on that sideline. American Military University kickoff. Grabbing the right sideline around the 23-yard line. The coverage has been there all night so far for Millbrook. So not wanting to give Wakefield any free yards, forcing them to go all the way down the field to try and get back in this game. Stop made by James Morgan, number 44. Well, this Wakefield team last year started 4-1, top 10 ranking in the state, but then they moved into NAC 6 play, and I mean, it's a wood chipper of a conference in this cross football in North Carolina. It always has been. And one of the things that James Ward mentioned is that we see ourselves as a playoff caliber team, but we don't want to be on the bubble at the end of the season. That's why 0-2 in league play, after not really coming through the non-conference where you wanted to be because of the inexperience on this squad. I mean, they're looking right now at a 2-6 start with only a couple of games left.
But the group that only has 9 seniors, so a lot of young players that are going to continue to get better to next season and years to come, but also week by week they've gotten better. It's just this league is so tough. You get in this conference schedule and there's no breaks, but they're looking for a breakthrough, and so many bright spots that have shown this year from younger players.
Second down and 8 for the Wolverines as we approach 2 minutes left in the first. Haney brings down the high snap and hands it straight through the middle. Let it go for a couple of yards for Dante James. Let's go back downstairs to Sam.
Yeah, guys, moments after that last touchdown from Millbrook, Coach Jenks goes over to all the offensive linemen, Carson Herrera, Jalen Johnson, Tyler Higgins-Hill, Blake Mobley, and KJ Robinson, and gave each of them a high five, really engaging on the sidelines and appreciative of what his offensive line has done so far tonight.
Well, everybody knows, I mean, the stars are the quarterbacks, the stars are the wide receivers, the stars are the running backs. They get all the pub. It's the offensive line that is always overlooked more than it should be. Deep ball on third down is incomplete. And that's a coach on this Millbrook staff that understands where the bread's buttered. Right. Those up front 5 guys, right?
Well, offense and defensive line, you're going to win championships with those guys. If you can move the trenches on the offensive side and over on defense, push it back, you're going to have a great opportunity to win every single game. And Millbrook going to have an opportunity to get another drive started with outstanding field position.
Pugh and Bryant are back to receive what will be the 4th punt of this opening quarter by Wakefield. And Merck almost had that one blocked as a spiral that will land inside the 40. Taken by DK Bryant. And Bryant finally corralled after a nominal return. A couple of yards there. And the drive begins outside the 50 for the Wildcats.
And Patrick Healy, really good job from the backside making the tackle. Not much yards picked up on that return.
So there's Mason Fortune, football player, baseball player. Look over now his last couple of years. 63 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions. Those numbers will play.
Yeah, pretty good. And he's the guy you've seen the growth from last year to this year. Taller, stronger, faster. He's continued to get better. Those stats tell the story with him. Very accurate, and he knows where to go with the football.
Travis Keith, the man with the white hat. It's a football issue. Guy sees all. So that one will be ushered out of play, and the drive will begin now for Millbrook at the 37-yard line with a little more than a minute left in the first quarter.
Wakefield's defense needs to create a turnover. Get a spark, get some pressure into the backfield with Fortune.
4 down linemen for Wakefield. Offensive line holds. That one is thrown right past the receiver out near the sideline, looking for Ty Broughton, number 1. But it was Gavin Jekyll, number 7, who was kind of the closest man to that pass, almost tipped it away.
Jekyll, good job in coverage in the passing lane. And also there was the pressure. Nicholas Hobart, the defensive end, getting in the face of Fortune. This is a defensive line for Wakefield. The strength of the defense. They've got size up front. Again, these guys playing both ways on the offensive line as well. Outstanding conditioning.
Tight coverage on the quarters for Wakefield on 2nd and 10. Fortune play fake, passes through traffic, connects on the right side, sprints into the sideline, stepping through is DK Bryant, but marked out of bounds right around midfield.
He's got that special burst. Just something extra to his game. As he catches this ball, Wakefield's in position. He can get outside of the edge with his speed and picks up the first down.
I mean, these are pretty simple offensive play designs. Quick drop, don't let the pressure get to you, get the ball into your playmakers' hands. That's DK Bryant and Nathan Leacock and others. It is a first down in CDPS first down. Go to ncdps.gov/careers and start your new career. From midfield, first down. Fortune retreats, and that one to the sideline, and is it intercepted on the sideline or out of bounds? Awaiting the signal, and it is an interception. Brennan Davis, broken thumb and all, closes quickly on the sideline and picks off Mason Fortune. There's the turnover Wakefield needed.
Exactly what they wanted. Davis, the senior, one of the leaders, steps up, gets in the passing lane. Good job coming in front of Leacock, gets his right foot inbounds, maintains possession. The referee right there for the call. Now the offense gets it right around the 50-yard line, and that's the play they needed. You see the sideline get excited. Guys get into the game.
And a penalty marker right before the snap to Dominic Haney. And a conversation with the sideline for Wakefield. Is this a sideline warning here? See what Travis Keith indicates. This flag might be picked up. So no flag. 1st and 10. Now let's go downstairs again to Sam.
Brennan Davis, his conversation was really fun earlier this week, and I asked him, who is one person who has made you grow the most as a cornerback? He said, Nehemiah Jones worked with me a ton in practice last year and made me a really good corner. He had growth his junior year, did Brennan Davis, as that pass is incomplete. He said he taught me how to move laterally, be patient with my feet, and not bite on those double moves. His footwork was something else. Nehemiah Jones, the biggest influence on Brennan Davis's elite rise at the cornerback.
Well, there's Dominic Haney walking back to the sideline. I didn't see a receiver in the vicinity when that pass was thrown. The flag came in late, but it's an appropriate flag because he'll be grounding on a Haney and Wakefield. So intentional grounding, down counts. And that's a big loss when you have the best field position of the night, down by 3 scores the first quarter. You can't allow this to happen. I mean, nobody is nearby. So they mark him all the way back inside the 30-yard line.
He limping a little bit as well as he got hit. And he came up in some pain.
Well, that's something that Wakefield can't ill afford here tonight. Haney back out there on 2nd down. Quick handoff. Now a little inside handoff goes to Dante James. And James, that was read very well by Millbrook across the 30 to about the 32. And one more penalty marker comes in. And this will go on Wakefield as well. Well, the Wolverines open up the playbook here in this opening quarter. With the halfback pass. Now a little double handoff right here. Couldn't connect on the long pass, and now a penalty negates this play. But they feel like the Millbrook defense is right on top of the playbook, that they need to kind of be very creative to try and get back into this.
And James Ward's calling the plays for Wakefield. John Harward as well on the offensive side. Those two really good play callers, and they read defenses, know when to mix in the trick plays, get defenses off balance. They just have to find a way to clean up these penalties.
This is now 3rd down. Haney, quick drop across the middle. Little receiver screen and nowhere for Jack McKenzie to go. First reception for McKenzie. Joined the program from a high school in Texas during the offseason. And that'll bring up 4th down, and we'll see if Wakefield just lets the clock run out to end the quarter. It has been a tough first 12 minutes for the Wakefield Wolverines, trying to snap a 2-game conference losing streak in the toughest conference in the States. Done with a quarter from Millbrook High, all Wildcats, with a 20-0 lead. One quarter in the books. Millbrook leading Wakefield 20-0. Wildcats come in 6-1 in what has been an unexpected year of adversity for the Wildcats. Chris Bunting expected to be the head coach of this Millbrook team. Back in late in the summer, had a health issue, an off-the-field issue, no longer with this Millbrook program. So Jimmy Vereen, who joined the program last year as one of the assistant coaches for linebackers, was named the interim head coach in early August. So the experience that they had with the seniors on this team, they've been able to bring things together and kind of just ride past those speed bumps. And here they are now up 20-0 after a quarter, trying to get to 7-1.
Yeah, and a really good year. I mean, they faced a tough schedule. They went through it unscathed, had a tough ball game against Rollsville last week, but I really believe they learned a lot from that game. And it really helped them to center back in and refocus.
And they came in under Jimmy Vereen's first game as the interim head coach. Had a scrimmage against Cardinal Gibbons. We know what they did last year. They beat them, and that gave him and especially his team and players a ton of confidence as they were just coming out through the other side of the coaching change. And Jimmy Vereen, who spent about 4 decades as an assistant coach down in South Carolina, got an opportunity to be a head coach for a few years at Creek Bridge down in Marion, South Carolina, before coming up here to Millbrook. Doing a very nice job keeping this team together, and boy, they have a lot of pieces in place. 20-0 lead for the Wildcats, early stages second quarter. Millbrook football working left to right in the light and dark blue uniforms.
And that's Ty Broughton with the last catch, his first catch of the night. So many different guys that Mason Fortune has gotten involved in the game plan.
Fortune on the release. Pugh makes the grab, steps out of a tackle, and then gets tripped up a little bit shy of the 45-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him back outside the 40, back to about the 39.
Good hit. Great job in coverage. Just coming up and making the play. Matthew Stanisiek, the outstanding sophomore for Wakefield. Been very physical.
Well, for all the points on the board for Millbrook in the first quarter, most of that is not on the shoulders of the Wakefield defense. I mean, a kickoff return for a score. Punt block led to a really short field. Outside of 1 or 2 real gash plays, the defense for Wakefield has played very well. They get pressure here on Fortune, sprints out. Nobody's spying on him, and he will get the first down on 3rd and 12.
And how do you defend Fortune? 23 touchdowns on the year through the air, and then the awareness. He feels the pressure, keeps his eyes up. Excellent speed. Easily picks up the first down, keeps the chains moving.
And loss contained on the outside, so myspot.nc.gov, first down, your spot for COVID-19 protection. Well, that's a play where the Wolverine defense needed to get off the field. First down, Millbrook at the 45. Stack 3 receivers to the right. And that's McShay now in motion. And they will keep it in between the tackles. Stepping through and out to about the 40, pick up of About 6 on the play for Xavier Pugh, averaging about 7 yards a touch. And he's a guy who they will target out of the backfield as well.
10 touchdowns on the ground, 2 through the air. Another guy with elite speed. He's physical running through tackles. I mean, they've got a very good balance on the offensive side for Millbrook.
2nd and 4. Tight formation for the Wildcats. Fortune spins away, throws as he's being dragged to the ground. That's incomplete. Right around the 35-yard line off the hands of Hayden McShay. Let's go back downstairs to Sam.
Yeah, Patrick, just a quick update on Wakefield defensive tackle and offensive lineman Charlie Stewart. I saw him on the sidelines getting his right wrist taped up. He appears to be okay and still has his helmet in his hand, but he has not been out on the field defensively for this series.
It looks like he's back in the field now, number 55, Charlie Stewart. The guy who James Ward said he's a Power 5 kid. I mean, he really likes his talent, just a junior. 3rd down and 4 now for Millbrook. Pugh sneaks through and hops it inside the 35. That'll be a 1st down.
This is going to be a challenge for Millbrook's running game tonight. The strength of the Wakefield defense, the interior defense line. There's Stewart trying to get off the block, and defense does a good job there. He just picked up enough falling forward. But the battle up front between the offensive line for Millbrook and Wakefield's defensive line has been very intense up front.
Another myspot.nc.gov 1st down. Your spot for COVID-19 protection. 1st down, Millbrook with a 20-0 lead from the 34. Fortune on a crossing route. And there is Leacock, makes the catch. One man misses, down the sideline, he sprints, and takes it in again. 2nd touchdown reception of the game for Leacock. This one from 33 yards, 26-0 Millbrook.
He's 6'3" with great speed and has elusiveness. To be that big and this quick, it's a slant route and then makes one man miss, easily gets into the end zone. He has the body control, the hand-eye coordination you look for in a top-end wide receiver.
2nd touchdown catch of the game for Leacock, 17th of the year. And again, the offense will stay on the field after a couple of missed PATs in that 1st quarter. So Fortune will set up in the Wildcat with Xavier Pugh right behind him. He's going to swing it out toward the left pylon. Easy pass and catch time. Broughton for the 2. And it's 28-0 Millbrook.
And Ty Broughton, so skilled. Such a good route. Back shoulder fade. Perfect connection from Fortune to Broughton. The 2-point conversion. And Leacock on the slant takes it all the way for another touchdown.
Wildcats making it look easy. 28-0 early stages, 2nd quarter. If you've tuned into tonight's ball game to check out a future Tennessee Vol, Nathan Leacock, there's some Tennessee Volunteer fans here in the Triangle. He's not disappointed. 2 touchdown receptions, covering a total of 91 yards, and ready for an American Military University kickoff. AMU, the #1 provider of higher education to the U.S. military. Marker down prior to the kick. 28-0 Millbrook. See a kickoff return for a touchdown. A couple of touchdown passes through the air from Fortune to Leacock, and then Gomez ran one in from 3 yards out. A couple of missed PATs. One was partially blocked, and a couple of 2-point successful conversions.
And I think for Millbrook, they were really looking forward to this ball game and getting off to a quick start. Again, last week against Rolesville, their lone loss of the year. The start of the ball game didn't go the way they had hoped. There's some missed opportunities, and that was a focus to come out tonight and play your best football, especially in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and only a couple of weeks left in the regular season after tonight. Millbrook home with Knightdale next week. Knightdale 0-2 in the next 6, and they close up on the road at Wake Forest. That'll be a big one. Returnable kick. Sneaking through, that's Braxton rushing out to about the 44. 2nd Second series in a row now for the Wolverines with a shorter field, now trying to capitalize.
So for Wakefield, you have the field position. This is where you've got to go. You've got to get on the board, get a drive going, give your defense a break, but get some positive momentum on the offensive side of the ball.
And Dominic Haney was just nicked up a little bit on that last drive. He's back out there, number 1, the senior quarterback. His first year with this Wakefield program was last year. Feels like he's a more accurate passer, still working on his footwork, strong arm as he slings one out to the right side. Davis, the reception, another penalty marker came in toward the offensive line area. And this reception might be wiped off the books as well. And yeah, Santiago pointing the other way. He feels like this is going on Wakefield. They've now had 6 penalties in this first half. Well, just a demoralizing start for Wakefield. And Jay, you know Coach James Ward awfully well. What's the approach to just keep the chins up on that sideline and wait for somebody to make a big play?
Well, James Ward is an outstanding person, a great motivator, and he's building this program up. When he first started, only 61 players in the program, varsity and JV, now 97. And he's got star players on his team like Dominic Haney. So many young guys on this roster with only 9 seniors. Just think about how good they're going to be in the next couple years when all these guys get older and more experienced.
After the penalty, first down carry to about the 40. And more on James Ward and the status of this Wakefield program downstairs to Sam.
Yeah, you guys mentioned the growth from 61 guys to 97 on the roster this season. I asked Coach Ward, what do you like most about your job? What gets you up in the morning every day? And he said support system. We've got the best group of team moms. It's all about these kids every single day.
Haney, deep out. Reception near the sideline, close to the first down is Davis again. So now beginning to find a reliable playmaker on the from the wide receiving corps.
And this is a big-time play. Protection up front, NFL-style route. That's a deep out, 15 yards. Davis, as he comes up limping here, they need him. Davis goes out, gets separation, and then another strong throw from Haney.
All right, 3rd and short. Haney will pick up the first down and more. Takes a pretty good hit around the waist at the 40-yard line. But the drive is going to be sustained for Wakefield. First down.
Well, that's where Wakefield's offense is at its best, when they can throw the ball, mix in the running game, and then Haney has room to operate up front, and then he can show off his athleticism and power finishing off runs.
We're down to the 39-yard line. First down. MySpot.nc.gov. First down. Your spot for COVID-19 protection. Best looking drive of the night for Wakefield. First down from the 39. Trailing by 28. And here come the Wildcats pressuring. A little run blitz. They get it to the outside. And Braxton Rushing throwing a shoulder at the end of that play to try and pick up an extra yard or 2. Penalty marker is down back at the line of scrimmage. And the reaction by Israel says not a number 51 kind of tells you not only is it holding, but it's probably holding on number 51.
For Wakefield, they just have to find a way to clean up the penalties because it's really halting drives and they can't get the momentum they're looking for. Then they're putting themselves in 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
And there's the hold right there on the edge. 7 penalties in this first half against the Wolverines. Back to midfield. First down at about 21. Haney feels the pressure. And ball comes loose out of the 40-yard line, picked up by Millbrook. And down the sideline to about the 27. Fumble recovery by Millbrooks. Jalen Johnson, number 72, forcing the 2nd turnover of the half.
Millbrook's defense so relentless, again getting pressure in the backfield. The ball's knocked loose. 2 Wildcats jarring it out, and then Again, hustling to the ball, go over, pick it up, and set up another drive for the offense.
They're the best drive of the night for Wakefield results in the Wolverines' second turnover of the game. So the senior nose guard, Jalen Johnson, sniffs out the football after it was jarred loose, and now this drive starts at the 28. .7:25 left in the opening half. 28-0 Millbrook. And here comes Travis Keith. Wants a word with Coach Jenks on the sideline. And now Fortune comes over. And the official kind of talking with both of them. I don't know if, is this an equipment issue here for Fortune? We'll see what the call is. What do you see, Jay?
I'm still trying to find out if Fortune looks like he's just coming out for one play, and Santiago is going into the Wildcat quarterback, but multiple Wildcats coming off the field.
And Pugh was coming off the field. Now they're sending him back on. He might be the Wildcat quarterback here. Well, Santiago is kind of setting up in that Wildcat spot.
And Santiago's over on the sideline. The coaching staff called for him to get into the ball game as Fortune was coming over.
It just makes you wonder if maybe Fortune inadvertently took the helmet off on the field. Perhaps that's why he was told to come off, unhappily so. And now first down, snap comes, but too late. And this is going to be a delay of game going against Millbrook. Who could see that coming?
There he is, Fortune. We'll see if he comes in after this play.
Yeah. Because when Travis Keith came over to talk with the coaching staff for Millbrook, it looked like he was kind of pointing to like the chin of a helmet. And then Fortune came over and was called off the field. Soft snap does get to Santiago. Look at him muscle his way forward, dragging bodies, and almost yanking the defender Patrick Healy for an extra 5 or 10 yards.
Fortune's coming back into the ball game. As a Wildcat quarterback, Santiago is so imposing. I mean, he gets the ball. He's just rolling through guys. I mean, they're just holding on for dear life. Santiago, an outstanding kid. I talked with him this summer. One of the best kids you'll find, and out on the football field, he does it all.
Clock running, 6:45 left in this first half. Little screen with a marker down, pass incomplete. And one more flag. This one will also go against Millbrook.
At the halftime break, both teams will address the penalties. Just each side, too many penalties. It's stopping the flow of the game, and it's hurting each offense.
And Travis Keith's going to need some ice on that.
Yeah, he's tired. He needs some Gatorade.
So unofficially, 5 penalties on Millbrook, 7 on Wakefield. There could be more. And they'll push this football back out to about the 37. Stay second down. Broughton to the top, Leacock to the bottom. 2 touchdown receptions for big number 15. Fortune looking Leacock's way. Unloads. Leacock beats the man easily, but it's overshot him on the sideline. He had 3 yards on the defender. And again, if that ball is within a 10-foot radius, that's an easy touchdown for Leacock.
Well, Leacock has the speed, and he's also improved his route running ability to get separation. Fortune, he's got a strong arm. I mean, he heaves this ball, just sails a little bit to the outside.
Brendan Davis on coverage, beaten badly. That's one Fortune would like back. Third down at about 17. Line of reach is the 18. Fortune again looking to the right. He wants Leacock again. Does he get a mulligan? No. About 1.5 yards beyond. A better thrown ball that time. The coverage was tighter, but just not enough air underneath that pass to the front right pylon. 4th down.
But you love the aggressive play calling in Millbrook. I mean, they've got the wide receivers on the outside, strong arm quarterback. We're going to take shots down the field. The ball again goes a little bit too wide. they're being aggressive.
All right, 4th down. Offense stays on the field for Millbrook. They need to reach the 18. The line of scrimmage is the 36, so it's a 53-yard field goal if they want to try it, which they won't. And a penalty marker thrown off the sideline. This will be a sideline violation against Millbrook. I think this will probably just be the warning. But again, you're up by 28. You're not going to attempt a Herculean field goal try. You're not going to punt here. So might as well give your big-time offensive skill guys a chance to make a play here.
I would be surprised if they go back to Leacock with the same play.
Fortune, play action, throwing again,
Here
down the middle into double coverage for Leacock, diving toward it, can't get it. Incomplete, back of the end zone, 3 straight cracks for Nathan Leacock. And the 3rd one was the closest of them all.
Well, he doesn't look tired at all. He just ran 3 50-yard sprints. Had some room ahead of the secondary.
I'm laying out for that one, Jay.
Would have had an opportunity. The ball would have been inbounds. Could have come up with it.
And a reminder, stay tuned. Campbell University halftime report. We will have this week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar athletes participate in school interviews with the principals, highlights, and more. Campbell University School of Engineering, where engineering is for everyone. Don't forget about their undergrad open house on October the 15th. Opening play covered up to save the possession for Wakefield. It's Devin Jugan, number 75, falling on the loose ball.
And Hayes just had so much pressure tonight. The offensive line battling. And good job seeing the ball on the ground, jumping on it. Another situation, though, Patrick, where they're 2nd and long. It just seems like they haven't had easier opportunities on 2nd and 3rd down.
Yeah, they really have not given Haney any kind of extra time to figure out where the pressure's coming from and get settled in to make a throw. Pressure has been relentless. Loss is 6. Haney now retreats, screams it over the middle, leaping catch, but for maybe just a couple of yards. And that's Dante James making a reception, number 24. James in his first year in the program here for Wakefield. His family moving down here to the Triangle during the summertime. Coach James Ward gave me a good story before the game. There was actually an electrical fire in Dante James' family home up in New Jersey that started in his mom's bedroom, burned the house down. He wanted to play kind of higher level high school football anyway, moved down here where his grandparents live. The entire family moved down here. And Coach Ward was at a doctor's appointment earlier in the fall. He got a phone call saying, "Hey, Coach, you got to get over here and see this guy Dante James." He said, "Oh, he can't be that good." He said, "Oh, he's brand new to the area. Check him out." And he feels like he is going to be a game changer, just a sophomore.
But he loves him. And he talks so highly of him and what he's brought to the program already, just here in a short amount of time.
All right, wave off the penalty. Timeout taken. 4:37 remaining first half. Millbrook leading Wakefield 28-0. Now we're just strolling through the first half at Millbrook. 28-0 first half lead for the 6-1 Wildcats. As we return to live action, this is a 3rd down and 18 play for the Wakefield Wolverines. A couple of turnovers in this first half for Wakefield. Special teams allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown on the opening play of the game. Haney under massive pressure, tripped up and caught from behind and sacked. Jaden Ferguson on the scene, sets up 4th down.
And Ferguson, number 22, comes from the backside and has that quickness of speed to track down Haney. He was keeping his eyes down the field, trying to make a play through the air. Ferguson just came flying off the edge.
Well, the Wildcats, who've just been living on the other side of the 50-yard line all game long, are going to have another opportunity to do so here. Fortunately, now the 5th punt of this first half by Carter Merck. And a couple of big offensive weapons on special teams camped out at the 45-yard line for the Wildcats. High snap, Merck has to wait. Now the pressure coming, and he is trapped. Gets the kickoff somehow, and lands after about a 10-yard flight and will be down by Wakefield inside the 30-yard line. Salt into the wound. It looked like Merck also might have been a Hurts. That is not on him. That was a slow, pigeon-like snap that almost went over his head. Special teams on punting, it's all about you have a limited amount of time to get the punt off, and this center gave no chance.
Well, Millbrook has their starters playing in special teams. That was Ferguson and Santiago coming back there, creating the pressure.
Now Millbrook starts here from the 27. 28-0 lead for the Wildcats, first half. Fortune swings it out. That's a lateral. And is Leacock taking it inside the 15-yard line.
Millbrook uses Leacock on the deep passing plays and also the simple screens to the outside, swing pass. Been so good with yards after the catch in open field situations.
And another marker down on the play. And a personal foul charged against Wakefield and against Millbrook. They will be offsetting. And they will replay the down. Well, if you're Wakefield, Jay, here you are again with a short field behind you. Any kind of moral victory you can get here, and one would be keep Millbrook out of the end zone in this drive.
Yeah, and you've just got to find a way to get to the halftime break and reassess things, make some adjustments. But you've got to get a turnover and keep them out of the end zone.
Clock running close toward 3 minutes. Fortune, not a lot of time to throw. Once Leacock again, and it's hit out of his hands. Incomplete. Coverage there by Brennan Davis. He's doing what he can to disrupt Leacock.
Yeah, perfect coverage as Davis is backpedaling stride for stride with Leacock. He sticks that left arm there to knock it loose.
And that pass got through. Make no mistake, we know who the Wildcat focal part of this offense is, number 15. He was getting a workout, and there is Leacock. Again, the Tennessee Vol commits. Leacock Sr. Bottom of your screen on 2nd and 10. And one more penalty marker comes in. Uncle.
Too many. I guarantee both staffs will be addressing the penalties at the halftime break on each side.
Just unusual in week 8 to see the high volume of penalties here in this first half. And even when you're up by 4 touchdowns in the first half, there's still a lot of coaching that you can do. And that's certainly what the coaching staff from Millbrook will do. Again, next week, home with Nightdale, then they close at Wake Forest. And again, seen that a couple of times as well. Pick up the flag, no penalty. And the coaching staff, Jimmy Vereen, the interim head coach, wants an explanation as to why, again, the flag is picked up.
And Fortune comes off over to the sideline.
And again, that's Travis Keith, the referee of the state titles back in 2009 and again in 2015. Very well credentialed. Said he was bored when he was on the Raleigh Police Department force to find a little something else to do in his spare time. Got in as a softball umpire first, then he moved into high school football. So pick up that flag, 2nd and 10. Inside 3 minutes for the first half. So Fortune again on the sideline for a play. Soft snap. Pugh takes the handoff. Can't turn the corner. Gets spun around a couple of times and taken into the Wakefield sideline. And Fortune right back on the field again. Second time he's basically been penalized by leaving the field for one play.
Well, and third down coming up, and for Millbrook so far, we've seen the tendency to be aggressive on fourth down and go for it. So really in this situation, you figure this is two-down territory for the Wildcats.
You look across the formation, see Santiago, the slot to the right, Leacock at the bottom of your screen. One-on-one coverage again with Davis. Fortune runs the opposite way, sprints down the sideline, angles out. Looks like he'll be perhaps a little bit short to the first down. It'll bring up a fourth down decision for the Wildcats. So Fortune's going to stay on the field, and Millbrook will attempt a fourth down play again, fourth and about 7.
For Wakefield, you've got to find where Leacock is, number 15. Talking with Santiago. It's going to come down to the pass rush. Wakefield's defensive line, the front four, getting pressure into the lap of Fortune.
Empty backfield now as Pugh sprints out to the right. They throw toward Pugh, comes back, makes the catch. One man misses, stays on his feet, gets to the 15, still on his feet, and down to about the 12-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down. What an effort by Xavier Pugh.
One thing about Millbrook is they are relentless. Once they catch the ball, they are looking for more. And when guys are hanging on, they are not giving up. Looked like he was going to get body slammed, stayed on his feet, kept his balance, fought through it, and fell forward for a couple extra yards.
And the Wildcats again inside the College Foundation of North Carolina red zone. Helping plan, apply, and pay for college. These Wildcats hit the weight room over the summertime. Not? From Leacock to Santiago, now to Pugh. Fake Pugh's way, they go opposite. And one man misses, sprinting ahead. Leacock toward the goal line, in. Third touchdown of the game for Nathan Leacock.
It makes it look so easy. It's fluid. Everything just looks so simple for Leacock. Great play design. You look over towards the right, screen back to the left, nice block to the outside, and then Leacock make one man miss, little jab cut, easy getting into the end zone.
14-yard touchdown reception, third of the night for Leacock. It's 34-0 Millbrook, and again, they'll keep the offense on the field, go for 2. They've done this twice tonight. Fortune zips one left side, and that is good for 2. Santiago brings it in. 1:55 left in the first half. It's 36-0 Millbrook. A reminder coming up in just a couple of minutes. Campbell University halftime report. This week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar athletes, participating school interviews with the principals, highlights of this game, and more. It's all brought to you by Campbell University School of Engineering, where engineering is for everyone. Don't forget about their undergrad open house on October the 15th. $36-0 Millbrook. Still about 2 minutes left in the first half, Jay. This is not at all what James Ward and the Wakefield Wolverines envisioned when they took the short trip over here today.
Well, Millbrook's just clicking on all cylinders, and the offense is doing their job. Over on the defensive side, though, they've created so much pressure and keeping Haney in the pocket. They've been able to keep him bottled in. They haven't allowed him to get outside and use his legs.
Short kick to the sideline. Fair caught around the 34. Well, the challenge we were talking about with the defense for Wakefield ahead of that last Millbrook touchdown drive was for the defense to keep Millbrook from scoring. That didn't work. Now, if you're Wakefield, you're saying, let's figure out a way to get some points on the board in the final 2 minutes of this first half. They need something positive going into halftime.
Well, and you're learning a lot about your team right now. Who's going to fight through the adversity and stick together? And this is a team, again, it's young. They faced a tough schedule. They're battling against some of the best teams in the state. They need to stick to their plan.
Boy, the pressure just keeps on coming. Santiago read that one again. Easy play right there, a loss of a couple yards for Dante James.
Santiago has the first step quickness. The long frame, 6'4", keeps pad level low, has the leverage.
Was that a polite tackle right there by Santiago? He just kind of like laid him down like a pillow. Loss of 4.
Well, Millbrook still has timeouts too, potentially, if they get the ball back.
Wakefield will get the football out of intermission. Small consolation, showing pressure again on the Wildcats on the defensive line. Stringing it out, rushing. And he gets hemmed in behind the line of scrimmage, still though on his feet. And we'll get back maybe to the original line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd down. And Jay, you touched on it a little bit earlier in this second quarter about the youth of this Wakefield team, as the clock will be stopped here with about 57 seconds left. The NAC 6 is so deep. And yes, Wakefield has a very young team, but it's almost like the American League East in baseball, where you can show a great deal of improvement and get better year after year after year, but you still might finish 4th or 5th in that division because of the strength of the Yankees, the strength of the Rays, the strength of the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. Yeah, I'm pointing at you, the Baltimore Orioles, but I mean, you can get better, right, but the standings may not reflect it because of the strength of your league.
Well, they made the playoffs last year. And everybody in the NAC made the playoffs because everybody deserved it. This is a Wakefield team that I think is great. I think they're a really good team. They're just going against the Millbrook team that we could see in the state championship game in December. And you can say that about probably 3 or 4 teams in the NAC that they have a legit chance to be in the state championship. And when you look at Wakefield, right now, this is a huge deficit. They're hanging in there, trying to come back from and show some signs, positive momentum. But I mean, I look at the talent on the field, and they're a lot better than many teams that we've seen this year. The record isn't indicative of that because of the strength of the league, but there's a lot of playmakers out on the field.
Yeah, they're going to have a character test over the last couple of weeks of the season. Knightdale, we saw them last week in the NAC 6. Very, very tough squad. Then you finish up, they have Heritage as well coming up next week. Haney dances around, another penalty marker thrown, and Haney is going to get sacked back at the 26-yard line. The pressure just nonstop from Millbrook. You can see some frustration of Haney for his offensive line and just how this first half has evolved. Clock stopped again, and there's the holding gesture by Travis Keith.
And that's where Wakefield, again, facing this pass rush, that's where the penalties are coming in. They're just trying to hold on up front to give Haney time. The referees are calling it.
Again, by my count, which could be plus or minus 1, that's 11 first half penalties on Wakefield. And another timeout taken by Millbrook. 46 seconds left, 3rd and long for Wakefield. And if you're Millbrook, I mean, you're just playing at one speed. A lot of your starters are on both sides of the football. Santiago's played almost every snap. We saw DK Bryant has been out there almost every snap. We have guys on the offensive line playing on the defensive line. Not a great deal of depth for either of these two programs, but at this stage, you can only do so much. I mean, for Millbrook, you're just worried about getting better, taking care of your assignments, and let the score kind of play out as it does.
Well, they have a lot of motivation from last week's ballgame. They didn't play their best against Rolesville, and that was a test for them, and they felt like, hey, we've got to come out, recenter, get our focus back, and really get that taste out of our mouth. And I would say to this point, I mean, they've been clicking in all 3 phases.
So Millbrook calls the timeout to force another punt here from Wakefield in this first half. Merck is back out there. He was nicked up a little bit on that soft snap that came his way the last time. Better snap this time. The punt goes straight up and into the sideline for Millbrook. And the line of scrimmage on the punt was the 27. We'll see where they mark it. The official still coming down the sideline. And this will be officially an 8-yard punt. They will mark it at the 35. It's a microcosm of this first half here for Wakefield.
Yeah, and for Millbrook here, plenty of time. You have the one timeout, and Fortune's strong arm, you can take your time even though there's 41 seconds. The goal here is to get one more scoring play before you get to the halftime break.
Right from 36, junior quarterback Mason Fortune. 3 touchdown passes in this first half, all to Leacock. Leacock sprints down the right side. He wants it one more time. Some contact. Leacock stretching inside the pylon. Holds on. Touchdown! What a grab by Nathan Leacock. 4th touchdown of the opening half.
4 touchdowns, and this is the best out of all 4. Look at this catch. Focuses all the way and dives. Keeps both feet in bounds. Would have been good in the NFL. And he has been great in the first half. Big play ability all over the field for Millbrook, and number 15 makes another one.
That's a good season, the first half the Leacock has had. I mean, you have guys who play wide receiver in high school across the state of North Carolina. Their careers, they may not have 4 touchdown catches. He's had 4 touchdown catches in the first half.
Well, they had him and Wesley Grimes last year, and Grimes at Wake Forest. 2 of the best wide receivers we've covered. With the track speed, the ball skills, I mean, they can do it all.
And the extra point knocked through by Gomez Corona. 34 seconds left in the first half. It's 43-0 Millbrook. And now, Jay, you're talking about the running clock. So as long as this first half has been for Wakefield, it's as short as the second half may be.
Well, I think for Millbrook, this is what you wanted to see out of your offense. Big play ability. They've run the ball well. The offensive line is protected up front, and Fortune has been accurate when he's taking those shots down the field. He's finding his playmakers. And Hunter Jenks is calling the plays. And he has a feel for his offense. He's in rhythm, knows when to call the runs, the passes, the screens, to keep the defense off balance, and really has the chemistry with his players, knowing what Mason Fortune likes. And in the running game, how to design those misdirection plays to help out his offensive line.
So one more American Military University kickoff for Millbrook. You go back 2 weeks for this Wakefield team. Again, they came out of the non-conference 2-3. Rollsville, one of the 2 unbeaten teams in the next 6 going into action tonight. They lost in a slugfest, 47-42. Tight contest. But then last week, 48-10 loss against Wake Forest. Now you put on the 43-0 first half. It is 91-10. Wakefield has been outscored in the last 6 quarters since that disheartening loss in the opening conference game 2 weeks ago to Rollsville. The football, the 35-yard line. This has been a dispiriting opening half for Wakefield. But it's only one half of football. This will be a character test. It'll be an interesting halftime conversation for James Ward to have with his squad. And they will hand it off on first down, rushing for a couple. And that should take us to intermission.
And at the halftime break, it's also on the seniors. Those are the guys that have to tell the younger players and get the team together and make sure everyone sticks together. There's a positive message about the second half, making sure you address the mistakes, the penalties, hang in there, and just come out and play a better second half.
Well, 9 seniors will have to kind of shoulder that onus for the Wakefield Wolverines because it has been a Millbrook juggernaut in the first 24 minutes. The game began on a kickoff touchdown return by Bryant from 86 yards. 14 seconds into the game, Millbrook led 8-0, and they poured on. 4 touchdown receptions by Nathan Leacock, and it is a 43-0 halftime lead for Millbrook. Let's go downstairs to Sam.
Coach, what a first half from Nathan Leacock. 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. What can you say about what he's shown out there on the field tonight?
He's such a great, fantastic player. I mean, all I say, he works hard. He comes to practice every day. He's just good. He's real good.
What's your message to the guys in the locker room? What do you want to see, even though you have a comfortable lead?
Well, first of all, I want to cut down on the mistakes, and that's pretty much holding us back a whole lot, you know. I really see that we're more mistake-less than a lot of points, you know, because the better you play, the better you get.
Appreciate the time, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
All right, the Campbell University halftime report comes your way next. A comfortable 43-0 lead for Millbrook over Wakefield. Stick with us. Millbrook in control over Wakefield at home, 43-0 at the half. You're watching the Campbell University halftime report. And now it's time for the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week. Presenting the awards for Tatum and Atkinson is Season Atkinson.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the Friday Night Rivals Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Wakefield High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Dominic Haney. Dominic is football team captain, a track and field state qualifier, and carries a 3.0 GPA. Dominic ranked third in Elite 11 Regional Quarterback Showcase in Las Vegas, was selected for QB Universe in Georgia, and is involved in the community through fundraisers, book bag drives, and youth sports. From Millbrook High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Daniel Stein. Daniel is the indoor track and field MVP, a football letter winner, and carries a 4.63 GPA. Daniel is six-time academic all-conference, is a member of National Honor Society and Mu Alpha Beta Club, is an Eagle Scout, and volunteers through his church.
Congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Tatum and Atkinson, injured in a wreck, call the heavy hitters.
And once again, congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week. And now it's my privilege to be joined by Assistant Principal at Wakefield High School, Ryan Cummings. Ryan, this is your third year with the school. What can you tell us about the biggest areas of growth you've seen from when you got to Wakefield to right now?
Yeah, I would think one of the biggest areas of growth would be the amount of rigor that our students are really participating in academically. They've really pursued excellence in honors level courses, as well as the courses offered by Wake Tech Community College, such as their CCP program, where students can earn credit towards an associate's, bachelor's, or certificate program.
And you've been heavily involved in athletics since you were a kid. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, and you played some lacrosse in Central New York, I hear.
I did. I'm a Syracusan at heart. I wisened up and moved down south where it's a little warmer. Had the opportunity to earn a national championship with the Syracuse University lacrosse team in '95, and I've really seen it grow down here in North Carolina.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this for students and our families.
Absolutely. The Campbell University halftime report rolls on after this, a 43-0 lead for Millbrook. Stick with us. The Campbell University halftime report rolls on. It's all Millbrook at the half, 43-0. And now it is my privilege to be joined here on the sidelines with the principal, Brian Saunders of Millbrook Magnet High School. How about this band behind?
They're fantastic. They went up to Rollsville last week and won in a competition of 11 bands. Some real perennial powerhouses were at that competition too, and they won, so we're really proud of them. You know, here at Millbrook, this is kind of what we do. Our athletic program is extremely strong. We're already conference champions in volleyball, golf, and women's tennis, and you know, looking for a couple more here before the fall sports are done.
What would you say is making this Millbrook community so special since you've been here?
Well, you know, so Millbrook High School is the oldest continuous high school in Raleigh at 100 years. This is our 100th anniversary this year. Even though we're a magnet high school from all over the county, we all support one another so well. We've got such good parent support. We've got teachers who have been here for forever, and they're fantastic, and the kids love them. And so it's just it's a real special place. You know, because of the community that exists here.
Brian, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Send it to Jay Sunhalter, who has a great conversation with one of our sponsors, West Shore Home.
Welcome back to the field. We're here with Jacob Wirtz from West Shore Home. Jacob, you've been such a great partner of Friday Night Rivals. Why is it so important for West Shore Home to be partnered with us?
Well, I'm personally excited to be at football on a Friday night. Everybody loves football. It's a staple of America. At West Shore Home, we have core values, one of which is getting better every day. So it's really exciting to see all the kids, the coaches, even the cheerleaders, doing their best to leave it out on the field, and that's just what it's all about, community, bringing everybody together.
What does it mean for West Shore Home to be so involved with the community?
It means everything to us. We're not just a company that goes out there and makes money. We love to give back to the community, and one of the best ways to do it is actually go around town and be a part of what's so important to all these families here tonight.
We appreciate your partnership and look forward to a great second half.
I'm excited. We'll see how it goes.
We'll send it back to the booth. Thank you.
43-0, our halftime lead. Millbrook on top of Wakefield. We'll have more of the Campbell University halftime report when we return to Raleigh. All Wildcats in the first half. Campbell University halftime report continues from Millbrook High School. Wildcats have a 43-0 lead. You read that correctly at halftime over Wakefield. Patrick Keenis along with Jay Sonhalter up for the booth. Sam Hyman down in the sidelines. And Jay, as we take a look at some first half highlights, it begins and ends with the Millbrook Wildcats and started with the very first touch of the football.
Well, what stands out is the team speed for Millbrook. DK Bryant opening kickoff all the way to the house. And so many different Wildcats stepping up, and they're doing it in all three phases. Special teams, through the air, Nathan Leacock, 4 touchdowns, making guys miss. He's in connection with Mason Fortune, and everything is just flowing for the Wildcats.
4 touchdowns in the first half from Fortune to Leacock. That's the only one on the ground as John Alicorn Gomez hops it in from 3 yards out, then right back to Leacock. Indefensible tonight for Wakefield.
When they're going over the top, also going to the short passing game, using the screen game as well. And for Millbrook, everybody is blocking downfield. Watch all the wide receivers, alignment downfield, making plays for their teammates. And Fortune and Leacock, perfect connection as they went into the halftime break with a long touchdown.
Yeah, those 4 touchdown scores, 58, 33, 14, and 36. And the total yards, not a misprint, 284 Millbrook, 33 Wakefield.
But both teams addressed the penalties at the halftime break. Millbrook's offense, very explosive. On the defensive side, though, they're getting pressure, creating sacks, stopping the run, and making it difficult for Wakefield.
On your halftime score again, Millbrook 43, Wakefield nothing. More from the Campbell University halftime report from Raleigh, North Carolina. A NAC 6 battle. Landslide tonight through the first half for the Wildcats. Well, there's the man of the hour for Millbrook. Wide receiver Nathan Leacock, 4 touchdown receptions in the first half. 43-0 lead for Millbrook. And now let's go downstairs to Sam, who's with the Wakefield head coach, James Ward.
Yeah, a moment ago I had a chance to catch up with Coach Ward, and I asked him, what was your message to your team at halftime? And he said one word, guys, and one word only, and that was fight. We've got to fight. We can't look at the scoreboard. One thing at halftime, Jordan Members, number 8 for Wakefield, addressed the team. I didn't see or hear anything that was said, but he normally doesn't do that. It's pretty energetic, so just trying to pump some energy into his team in the second half.
All right, thanks, Sam. Jay, let's talk about the fight the Wolverines need to show. How does it begin?
Well, I mean, it begins with the seniors, and Jordan Members is giving the team a speech and rallying everybody, and that's what it takes as leaders to stand up. And they respect James Ward. They're going to fight for him. They're going to come out here and, I think, play as hard as they can and rally together. But you've got to find guys on your team that are going to stand up, bring everybody together, and then come out here, and you got to forget the scoreboard and come out and play with pride.
What does fight look like? Fight may not look like scoring 44 points and winning this second half, but from a coaching perspective, what does fight look like on the field?
Well, the number one thing is when you go back and watch film tomorrow, you want to see guys playing through the whistle, continuing to sprint, and nobody hanging their head. Also, fighting is mentally staying in the ball game. You can't have all the penalties. You cannot have all those kind of creep its way back in the second half. You want to see the team play cleaner continue to play hard and be disciplined. And I believe they're going to find a way here to really rally together. And for Millbrook, the message is, hey, guys, listen, great first half. Let's not take our foot off the gas pedal.
All right, Jay, good news, bad news for Wakefield as this second half gets underway. Good news, Wakefield will get the football. Bad news is, trailing by 43, they are now going to be faced with a running clock if and until they get the lead under 42. So a very important first drive for Wakefield.
Well, for them coming out here, they saw Millbrook start off the ball game with a play on special teams. You know they want to get going and help out with field position and create a spark. That's what they need. They need an explosive play. They tried a couple trick plays. They had a couple over-the-top passes. They weren't able to connect. But they have to find a way in the second half to get something good going, whether it be a turnover, special teams play over the top in the passing game, somebody stepping up to rally everybody behind them.
All right, because of the elongated halftime show, the team's just now getting back on the field. They've added a couple more minutes to the halftime clock. So let's check out some highlights from the barn burner we saw last week, Heritage in Nightdale, and the second half on the other side. Runs forward to take the snap, finds room, cuts outside, and there goes Crutchfield down the left sideline, still on his feet. Crutchfield takes it home. Break in the backfield, he gets the call on first down, bursted right in the middle, and there goes Isaiah Break. 80 yards, first play of the third quarter. Montague, pressure immediately coming after him, and he escapes again, room to the right, and scores. Snap, he takes it right, darting forward, skips past the man, finds room, down the sideline, there goes Crutchfield, and Heritage has tied the game. Clean snap, Heritage on top, Montague dances back, lost the football, it's loose on the turf, and it is recovered by Nightdale. And what a game. Oh, classic game that was last week. 21-20 win for Heritage. And we saw their head coach go into the Heritage hooligans, wave the school flag. A homecoming win as we get ready to open the third quarter. And this is our opening kickoff brought to you by the American Military University. Returnable, a short kick, and out beyond the 40-yard line. That's where this drive begins on the Jack McKenzie kickoff return.
For Wakefield, another key is having success on first down. So many times we saw second and third down opportunities where it was long there behind the chains. They have to find a way on first down to have success. Again, no penalties.
So again, even with the running clock now, I mean, you may not have 6 drives in you here if you're Wakefield, but I like the patience they're showing. The whole entire team is on the sideline, making sure they're on the right page. They all come onto the field in unison. And regardless of the clock moving, as we get an unexpected Wildcat in the backfield, and that was JoJo Campbell off the right side of the defensive line. He bit on the 2 or 3 player shifts and just kind of was hanging out near the quarterback for about 5 seconds. And that'll be a penalty on Millbrook. But for Wakefield, the clock notwithstanding, just execute a drive regardless of the clock ticking down in front of you, no matter what the outcome of the play is. So penalty on Millbrook to open up this second half, and on 1st and 5, a rush in the backfield, swallowed for a loss of a couple of yards as Braxton rushing met some immediate resistance.
Gabe Bland, number 55, shot through the gap, the defensive tackle. Stayed low, had leverage. The penetration up front has been so good tonight for Millbrook.
5'10", 220, quick into the backfield. So a loss of 3, second down and a long 8. Just 33 total yards offensively in the first half for Wakefield. And pressure coming again from the Wildcats. Haney will air it out down the middle and deep. And this will land at the feet, incomplete, intended for Zamir Davis. Third down. And now you'll notice, Jay, with the running clock, incomplete pass, the clock continues to run. Explain to the fans why if they're just seeing this for the first time.
Well, at 42 points and higher, the clock is going to run just to keep competitive spirit for both teams and make sure the game continues with the flow of it. So until we see it go below 42, the clock will continue to run. So whether it's a penalty, an incomplete pass, somebody goes out of bounds, the clock will still run.
This is now 3rd down and 8. Rushing resets into the Wildcat formation behind his quarterback, Haney. Calls his own number, sprints to the right, jukes outside the numbers, gets submarine short to midfield. We'll see where they mark him. He was undercut to the point where he might have been submarine out to midfield, which is going to be right by the sticks, and they will move the chains. First down, Wakefield.
Well, and Haney's such a talented athlete, runs a 4.5, bench presses 325 pounds, squats over 400, has all the physical tools you look for when you're recruiting a player.
NCDPS.gov/careers, first down. Haney, pump fake. That goes to his second option, keeps it on the ground. There's some fight by Haney, still on his feet, escapes 3 different defenders. He's just not going down. That's the definition of fights. What a run, and there's a great reaction by Dominic Haney.
And that's the emotion you want. Your senior leader, he proves it through his actions and then comes up after the play to rally his team. Stiff arm, 3, 4 Wildcats trying to bring him down. He refuses. 5, 6, 7. Everybody's trying to do it, and they can't.
And Millbrook just trying to rip the football out of there. Great determination there by Dominic Haney. Let's go downstairs for more on Haney with Sam.
Yeah, guys, talked to Dominic Haney earlier this week. He said he models his game after Lamar Jackson, and his father was a speedy wide receiver as well. I asked him, what's the biggest piece of advice you got from your father? He said, be conditioned. I don't want to ever have to come off the field in any game. And actually, this is quite interesting. Since high school, he runs 10 sprints each day outside at 10:30 approximately, he says, before he goes to sleep no matter the weather. So he really is focused on staying conditioned, and that is a perfect example of that.
Why do I have a sense after a game like that, he still is going to run those 10 sprints at 10:30 tonight?
He's a hard worker. Everybody looks up to him because of the work ethic, because of the type of person he is, and you see your leader doing the extra work, going above and beyond, and it really provides such a great example for all the young players.
5-yard pickup. Here comes pressure again right in the middle. They set up the screen and a hand got on it, tipped away. And it might have been Ian Rembert, number 40, right in the middle. He got his right hand up and disrupted the play.
When you talk about the young guys, as Rembert comes through the middle on a blitz, good job, screen play. He recognized it, knocks it down. The previous play, Luke Blackburn, young sophomore, made the catch. Carter Merck, sophomore, wide receiver, out on the field as well. Jack McKenzie, the junior, that transferred in from Texas, first year playing a position. He was a kicker. So many guys that are in the pipeline for Wakefield just developing together and getting better week by week. Davis as well, a junior, so this is a young wide receiving core.
Third down, short 4, rushing, met in the backfield and thrown back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. There's Santiago again, along with Bland, and they'll bring up 4th down, and no doubt that the offense will stay out there.
Santiago, just a tear on defense. Seen him on offense with his power from the Wildcat position, playing quarterback over on the defensive side. When he goes to Charlotte next year, I think he'll have an opportunity to make an immediate impact. His brother, Alex Santiago, plays for Campbell as well. So good example in his house of what it takes at a college level.
There's a big 4th down here for Wakefield. Past the sideline, in and out of the hands. That'll go incomplete, looking for Davis. And we will take a commercial break here. Clock will continue to run as Wakefield turns it over on down. It's 43-0 Millbrook midway through the 3rd. Fans, stay tuned. During the 4th quarter, we will have the Harris Teeter scoring drive of the game. Your Vic card saves you on fuel, food, and more. It's coming up in the 4th quarter. Well, the only way the clock stops in this second half, well, 2 different ways, right? TV timeout, or if the lead gets below 42. And that's why that last possession, that last 4th down play was so critical for Wakefield, because now the clock will restart. Millbrook football. And if they don't get this lead under 42 points, you might have 1 more possession left in the game if you're Wakefield. It's going to be that short. So we'll see if the defense can force a turnover here. Fortune, quick pass, and was that intercept nearly right off of the fingertips at the 40-yard line. Incomplete. Close to a Jordan Members diving for it.
The ball is tipped.
Good pass, yeah.
They're looking for Leacock. Good job if you're a defensive lineman. If you don't get to the quarterback, you can't bring him down. Get your arms up. Nice job getting in the passing lane.
So as long as that first half was, by clock time, what, an hour and 45 minutes or so? This is going to be real time, almost 24 minutes to play football in this second half unless things change. Fortune hemmed in and sacked behind the 30-yard line. That's a big defensive play for Wakefield. Gavin Jekyll, number 7, is in there.
We talked about fight. How does it look? This is what it looks like. Good job, the defensive line. Multiple Wolverines coming over, playing low, coming off the ball, and keeping Fortune in the pocket and then coming together for the sack.
$43-0 Millbrook. Leacock 4 touchdown receptions in that first half. He's split out to the bottom of your screen, number 15. And the junior quarterback, Mason Fortune. Looks Leacock's way, swings it out, dangerous pass. Pugh makes the catch, ducks past one, gets past another to the 35 and tumbled forward about the 39. Still going to be about 4 yards short to the first down, but that play didn't look like it had that much positive yardage in it.
When I've seen Millbrook tonight, from what I've seen, it's the fight after you catch the ball. I mean, they are not looking for a couple yards. They're looking to go the distance every single time. And they just continue to fall forward, keep their legs moving, and then the team speed. I mean, it just stands out so much how fast they play.
And offense stays on the field, 4th and a long 5 for the Wildcats. Trying to hold on possession. Fortune slings it. Leacock the catch, first down yardage out close to midfield. Easy pitch and catch, trusting the arm strength. Leacock drove his cornerback off the play, and we'll move the chains to keep the clock going.
Oh, the respect from the secondary, and they're playing 15 yards back because they don't want to get beat deep, so it opens up the hitch route. Good job by Fortune hitting Leacock right at about 7 yards to let him do the rest.
Another NCDPS first down. Go to ncdps.gov/careers and start your new career there. Closing in on 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Millbrook's first offensive touch of this half. And a carry for about 4. Second and 6. Again here defensively, you're just kind of playing straight up, right? If you're Wakefield.
Oh, for Wakefield, you don't want to give up the big play. So the safeties, the cornerbacks, everybody is playing deep, protecting the passing plays that they saw in the first half.
And they pass it out to the left side. This is Broughton inside the 40, showing good speed and strength, just like his teammates all game long. Ball did come free, but Broughton is back on it. First down, Millbrook.
Broughton, another guy with great speed. I mean, he catches this and turns on the jets. Just a simple pass to the outside, and watch as he follows his blocks up front. Hayden McShay clearing the path, and then you make a cut, go back to the inside and pick up about 8 extra yards.
So another NCDPS first down. With so many weapons offensively on this Millbrook team, and they're pitching a shutout defensively. We've seen excellent work on special teams.
They have the formula.
Fortune across the middle, nearly intercepted contact, and the flag does come in. Looking for Broughton. It looked like Malcolm McIntyre might have gotten there just a hair early. The drawback for Wakefield and James Ward, if you're trying to get your team to show you fight and character in the second half, is that because of the running clock, you're just not going to have many snaps to let them show it. We saw the one from Mahaney a couple of minutes ago, but we're going to be at the end of the third quarter here by the time I stop talking.
Yeah, well, there's going to be fewer plays to show it. The coaches are going to go back and watch this, and they're going to see who's rallying together, who's putting forth all their effort. So few opportunities, but still you have to be expected to perform.
All right, if they get a snap off, it will be the final play of this third quarter, and they will not get it off. So that's the end of 3. A quick third quarter as expected. Millbrook on its way to a 7-1 start. 43-0 lead on Wakefield. Coming up later in this fourth quarter, we'll get to the West Shore Home Player of the Game. West Shore Home, convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Fourth quarter ready to get going. Running clock continues. Millbrook with a 43-0 lead on Wakefield. Changes offensively, but a handoff here goes on the end around DK. Bryant gets the corner, dives to the pylon, and Bryant is going to be, look like he's going to be marked short. Short of the goal line, maybe the 2.5 before he charged toward the pylon.
And the speed with the misdirection, once he gets out of the edge, I mean, he's tough to track down, and the sideline helped out. Good hustle from Wakefield over to knock him out of bounds.
Yeah, good call. Did step out right around the 2 with that right foot. So at NCDPS, first down. Go to ncdps.gov/career. Start your new career. First and goal. And to the right side, and not quite enough. Get some changes here offensively for Millbrook. Justin Taylor in as the new quarterback. Alarcon Gomez is now in as one of the running backs. Gomez number 23. And there's a look at Justin Taylor, junior quarterback for the Wildcats. Not going to get a lot of playing time behind Mason Fortune, but an opportunity here for Jimmy Vereen to get him in at least for a possession or maybe 2. Second and goal. And this is Taylor to the right, dives, lost the football, but he's in. Broke the play before the ball came out. Touchdown, Millbrook. So Justin Taylor's first touchdown of the year. From about 3 yards out, 49-0 Millbrook.
Yeah, this was all Taylor. It was designed to go up the middle. The ball is snapped over to the right side. Taylor just one-handed it, said, okay, I'll take this. Went over off the right, coming in, valuable experience for the junior, coming in and making a play.
Crabtree Mall touchdown. Crabtree Mall, your go-to destination for food and fashion for 50 years. Shop, dine, and explore their 200-plus stores and restaurants in the heart of Raleigh. Extra point punctured through. 10:29 left fourth quarter, now 50-0 Millbrook. $50-0 Millbrook leading Wakefield early stages fourth quarter. Fourth time this year the Millbrook offense has scored 50+. They have one shutout this year. They beat Enloe in week 2, 51-0. And after this kickoff, clock will again continue to run. Nightdale here next week. Then they wrap up at Wake Forest. Those are the final 2 regular season games for the Millbrook Wildcats. And one more American Military University kickoff. AMU, the #1 provider of higher education to the U.S. military. Approach, and Gomez Corona's kick is deep. Chased down by Haney. He'll pick it up around the 8. Cuts to his left to the 15. Strings around the corner, finds some room, and Haney, well, he's putting on a show in the second half, weaving through traffic midfield, springs it back now to the right side. Haney may go. How about Dominic Haney? Kickoff return for a score from 92 yards, and the shutout is gone. He covered 92 yards, but I think he really ran about 200.
And this is the fight we talked about. This is what it looks like. Zig all the way over to the left, come back towards the right. Everyone's blocking in front of Haney. And then pure athleticism. This is why so many coaches are after him. You watch his film. You look at what he brings to the team, the emotion, the leadership. And he can take it coast to coast. Plays quarterback, he's so versatile.
If I'm Dominic Haney, I'm giving myself a pass on those sprints at 10:30 because he just did them right there, all in one kickoff return. Really impressed at how he has come back and led this Wakefield team in the second half.
Now he comes out, scores a touchdown, doesn't get a break. Going right back under center for the 2-point conversion.
Well, if this were a tennis match and they could, in the middle of a point, show you how many meters or how many feet a player runs in about a 28-point rally, I would love to see how many yards that Haney just covered on that one. 2-point conversion is good. That makes it a 42-point game, but we will still have that running clock after the kickoff. 58 Millbrook. Dominic Haney, an amazing kickoff return for a score to get Wakefield on the board. Wakefield on the board. 92-yard kickoff return for a score from Dominic Haney, Wakefield quarterback. 50-8 is the Millbrook lead, and now you get the hands team out on the kickoff return coverage here for Millbrook. Fully expecting Wakefield to try an onside kick to get possession and stop this clock from running.
Looks like they're set up to kick it over towards the left.
It's going to be Chase Weiser, number 21, to do the duties. He has 6 guys to his left. You're looking really for that second hop. Again, the defense can touch the football at any time. The offense has to let it go 10 yards. And a bullet goes about 20 yards. Kicks off a hand down the sideline. And did that ball go out of bounds first? Because a Wolverine came out of there with it, but I think that ball was over the sideline and will be Millbrook football. It's a bit of a break there for the Wildcats. That onside kick came in hot.
I mean, it was a good kick. It got to the second level and bounced again. Good job just knocking it out of bounds.
As the clock now continues to roll down, we'll take one more look at this kick here.
Perfect execution. Nice job, though, from Millbrook creating a wall, and this ball just gets through, and there it hits the line.
Good thing. So Millbrook back on the field offensively. Justin Taylor, who just scored that touchdown a moment ago. Out of the Wildcat formation. And Gomez behind him. And miscommunication here. Penalty marker down as well. And Taylor up the hash to about the 35, but this is going to go on the Wildcats. Taylor before the snap checked the little wrist card, make sure they had the right play, and then after the snap, then the handoff was botched because the running back was on the wrong side. Checked it again. Was it my mistake or him? Was it you or me? We or me? The hold goes against Millbrook. Still first down. And Leacock done for the night. High snap again, miscommunication. Taylor scrambling. And one more penalty does come in as Taylor gets to about the 30-yard line. Another marker down, and this is going to be another flag on Millbrook. 2 plays in a row where Taylor has been ready to hand the football off, but there's been no back on that side.
New faces in the ballgame, and this is an opportunity for them to learn, to get better, and put good film out there. This will be addressed, though. You want to make sure, even when new faces are in the ballgame, they continue on with no penalties. Just a little bit out of sync for Millbrook.
And Taylor is still over on the sideline, talking with the offensive coordinator. Goes back onto the field. Everybody he hopes is in the right spot. But he and Gomez have had a tough time getting on the right page. Back at the 13-yard line, still first down. And now a quick pass out to the left side. First man misses. And dragged down hard the 15-yard line. And it's Jemiah Rogers.
For Millbrook tonight, Hunter Jenks calls the offensive plays. Dan Courtwright, the defensive coordinator, both of them have had really big nights with their play calling, making sure their guys are playing fast in the right position. And, for Millbrook, you see the 50 points, the explosive plays. and guys really getting better. I mean, I was so impressed with Mason Fortune.
It's second down and about 27 here for the Wildcats. And now the pocket breaks down quickly. And one more time, Neenan just trying to figure it out on the fly is Taylor, and he's just dragging half the defense with him out of the 30. Another pure body strength gets to the second line of the depth chart.
As he fights through, he's looking to pitch the ball and then just continues to move his legs, stays low. You talk about lifting and being strong at the weight room. This is where it pays off. When you've got a couple guys hanging on you and continue to fall forward.
And he was dragging February, who's 300 pounds. He dragged him for about 3 more yards. Third down and 12. Clock now under 6 minutes for the fourth quarter. Little action on the defensive line, but they got back. Quick toss outside, spinning away one more time is Rogers. Now reverses field. Rogers gives up ground, tries to turn the corner, and won't be able to do it. And finally brought down back around the 20-yard line. So he tried to channel Dominic Haney on that kickoff return, and Rogers not as well versed.
Great job by Luke Blackburn on the backside of the play, tracking him, hustling down, getting to the angle, and using his speed for the tackle.
And so Millbrook, a rare opportunity to punt. David Santiago with those, what are those Superman gloves he's wearing on this becoming chilly night down the low 50s.
He's played every position, quarterback, defensive end, punter, punt block as well. He's had one of those tonight.
And Blackburn is back to return. Santiago steps into it. Very good kick. Blackburn signals for the fair catch, grabs it at the 46-yard line. Well, let's get to our Harris Teeter scoring drive of the game. 4 plays, 58 yards. This catch made by Leacock, 1 of 4 for touchdown.
He's got all the moves. I mean, you see it, he gets the ball, tough to bring him down. Side screens to the outside, stiff arm, make a man miss. He's got the cutting ability, just the nose for the end zone. And then, like how he picked his knees up high, looked like he was out on the track, easily takes it to the end zone, and everybody's been on their feet from Millbrook cheering him on.
Well, on touchdown receptions alone, 141 receiving yards for Leacock. First down, and Haney takes a shot into the Millbrook sideline, but Haney is right up. Millbrook celebrating that heavy tackle into the sideline, but with credit to Dominic Haney, he's playing as hard as anybody out there on either side in the second half.
He's playing so hard. I mean, he was getting to the outside and he was looking for contact. You love the effort that he's giving. And plain and simple, he cares, he loves it, he's a hard worker, and it shows out on the field.
And his teammates will respect that, and they need to follow his lead in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Haney looking downfield, just kind of dumps it short and finds rushing near the sideline at about the 38, and he takes pretty good hits. And that one from Deontay Stokes.
That was a nice job by Haney. He's rolling out the pocket, and he could have taken off. He kind of kept his eyes up, pointed out towards rushing to go. Then as the defender came towards him, he backed up even to just dump it off.
2:45 remaining. Third down for Wakefield. They need about 6. Haney, 5-man rush, flushed out again, dumps it, rushing again, sidesteps one, takes it down to about the 32. That'll be very close to a first down. Normally clock will stop as they move the chains, but not under these circumstances.
Good job again by Haney, keeping his eyes upfield. He can take off every play with his speed. But he has the awareness, the feel for the quarterback position, knowing when to go, when to throw and dump it off to your running backs or wide receivers, and when to even pull it back. Just has that awareness and that special ability.
Eye check across the field does make this a first down. Highspot.nc.gov first down, your spot for COVID-19 protection. Haney releases deep toward the end zone, contact at the goal line, and a flag comes out. Davis was held up short of the goal line, and it's going to be pass interference on Millbrook, and Dante Stokes.
Well, Davis had his step. Good throw over the top, and this penalty, probably a smart play because that could have been a touchdown.
And now it looks like a timeout has been taken by Wakefield with 1:25 left in this fourth quarter. 50-8 Millbrook on top of Wakefield. Well, time now to get to our West Shore Home Player of the Game. And Jay, I'll give you exactly one guess.
15. There it is. Nathan Leacock, easy choice. So many guys had big ball games. His was fantastic. 4 touchdowns. He did it all. How he makes it look easy. The fluidness to his game. One cut, he can take off. He's got a big future in store for him. College, potentially NFL. He's going to Tennessee next year. They're playing Alabama. That's going to be a fun game tomorrow. And he's going to be able to watch that game, watch his future team knowing, hey, tonight, I had 4 touchdowns. What can I do at the next level at Tennessee next year?
Yeah, they will love him in Neyland Stadium. I've called a couple of college football games for Westwood One out there. Georgia and Alabama there over the last few years. He will endear himself to their fans quickly. After the timeout following the interference call, flag comes in on first down. And the ball does come out. It's picked up. I didn't hear a whistle. Millbrook picked up the football. Now we hear a whistle. There was a flag as that play began. I think there might have been another flag coming late. And I guess it'd be fairly appropriate if that's how this game ends, because this might take more than a minute to sort out. And here's the first call. Holding, and it will be a live ball. Holding on Wakefield. It is a live ball and a fumble recovery for Millbrook.
Ball comes loose.
Right there. It's the breakaway by Paul Shewalter. Knocked it away. Game clock continues to run inside the final 30 seconds, even with the turnover. So we may not even have one more snap here. So Millbrook with a 50-8 lead on Wakefield. They will move to 7-1, 2-1 in the NAC 6. They close here with Knightdale next week, and then they wrap up the regular season 2 weeks from now at Wake Forest. Wakefield will fall to 0-3, and they have Heritage at home and then on the road at Knightdale to end things. The horn sounds, and a 50-8 thumping for Millbrook as they take down Wakefield.
Well, Millbrook came out from the start. Hunter Jenks had his team ready. Nathan Leacock, star of the game. Everybody made an impact for Millbrook. And they came out and showed their talent, and reserves got in the ballgame. This was an important win for Millbrook. Now 7 victories on the year, and over for Wakefield. This is going to be a learning opportunity. I think James Ward has to be pleased with the fight he saw from his team in the second half.
All right, Wildcats come back after dropping their only game of the year last week to Rolesville. A authoritative win over Wakefield. Your final, Millbrook 50, Wakefield 8. We'll come back with some coaches' comments and the trophy presentation on Friday Night Rivals when we return. Well, there's your final from Raleigh. Millbrook 50, Wakefield 8. The punishment began at the very first touch, the kickoff return for a touchdown to open things up, and Millbrook's offense just did not stop from that point. Big win looming ahead in the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
But for Millbrook, what I saw tonight was a team that has an opportunity to win a state championship. I mean, you look at the balance on their team, the defense, special teams making plays too. They have it in all 3 phases, and they're going to have an opportunity to make a deep playoff run.
Millbrook now 7-1, 2-1 in the NAC 6, and let's go downstairs to Sam, who is with a happy interim head coach of the Millbrook Wildcats.
Indeed, Coach Vereen, your team absolutely dominant tonight. What was your biggest takeaway from your team's performance?
Got to take away them penalties. We got to get rid of all them penalties and play a little bit more clean game.
What was the best thing you saw from your team tonight?
Well, we was aggressive. Big drives, got to continue.
and you've coached for a long time. But this team, tell me about this team. What makes this team so special?
They're special.
Time and go celebrate.
A well-earned 58 Millbrook over Wakefield. They move to 7-1, 2-1 in the next 6 with Nightdale and Wake Forest rounding out their regular season. Jake, a couple of final thoughts from you?
Well, you see the celebration out on the field. That's a hard-earned victory for Millbrook. A lot of talent, a lot of excitement for what they're going to do here in the future. And for Wakefield, again, it's about, hey, let's get better. Let's go back, reassess ourselves, get better next week, and finish off the season strong. And Millbrook has a lot of opportunities once they get into the playoffs with everything we saw tonight.
This could be a very special next couple of months for the Millbrook Wildcats. All right, 50-8, the final score. Millbrook over Wakefield. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the great folks at West Shore Home, Air Experts Heating and Cooling, Campbell University, and Tatum and Atkinson who make all these games possible for all the viewers at home. We'd also like to thank all of the other great supporters for their contributions to Friday Night Rivals. That's myspot.nc.gov, Crabtree Valley Mall, United States Marine Corps, CFNC, Harris Teeter, the NCDPS, and American Military University. And we also would like to express our thanks to the participating high schools and their administrators for their support, Wakefield High and our host, Millbrook High School. Next Friday, Jay and I will be back to the next 6 one more time. Wake Forest and the Rolesville Rams, the 2 remaining undefeated teams in the next 6. Big tussle next week. So for Sam Hyman, my partner Jay Sohnhalter, and our entire crew, Patrick Keenis, thank you for watching tonight. Again, your final score, Millbrook 50, Wakefield 8. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.